Hello, welcome to the GTM Loop. I'm Angie Milano, and this is
Holly Glowaty. Hello, everybody. As always, today we are talking about how to build go-to-market strategies that actually work. We are going to be bringing you real stories, real tactics, and conversations that help you sell it, keep it, or grow it. Many of you are probably staring down your sales kickoff.
SKO, everyone. I love SKO.
I love an SKO.
I love it. It's like you're going places, you're seeing some of your coworkers that you don't ever get to see.
I know. And sometimes it's like a nice little reward for like the previous year's work. I don't know. It just kind of sets everybody up.
But I do want to say something and set the tone for what this episode is going to be about.
Okay.
If you have an SKO and say Marchish,
Yeah.
nothing has changed. It was just an expensive field trip. I'm gonna go out and say that it's gonna be like what did I say earlier? It's like a meet, like a Zoom with like better lighting. That's just how I see it.
I love this. This is going to be an episode full of hot takes because we've been through many sales kickoffs ourselves. I have planned some that in retrospect, I'm like, why did I do that to people?
That's true.
I've been part of some where I'm like, I'm getting nothing out of this.
Yes.
But I've been a part of really great ones.
Absolutely.
As well.
Too ready. Training. I think it's also peer connection.
It is.
And usually they always announce like whatever your president's club is for the next year.
Yeah, if you have that.
Right. That's always fun. So
all right, so let's talk about this. Where should we start with what usually people get wrong? Should we start there?
Yes.
Okay. I know you have some strong feelings here.
Of course. I think the biggest thing that happens at sales kickoffs is a bunch of like inspiration and like pep rally rah-rah with no tools to back it up.
Ooh, yes.
No product marketing sheets that are updated. No like battle cards. No who's also entered into, especially now, who's also entered into our market.
Yes.
And maybe we don't know as well.
I think education of your sales team is so important.
Absolutely.
I think sometimes when you're a very product-led organization, sometimes what is changing with the product does not get properly communicated.
That's right.
To the sales team. And that's tough because especially if you're like a startup, and I've seen this, you then have to bring in your like chief product officer or your CTO on sales calls when they should be working on product and tech. So this is the time, you guys, have product come in and lay out their roadmap, have tech come in and talk about this.
Yes.
Like take the time to use this for education. Your sales team will run faster. Thank you for this. They will feel more empowered. It has multiple benefits.
And they won't oversell.
Correct. Yes, they won't make things up that they can't do.
Because I think the hardest part about selling is you're constantly on the spot.
Yeah.
People will ask you questions and you're like, if you're comfortable saying, I'm not sure, I'm going to go back and ask that. I'm comfortable saying that, but some people are not.
Right.
And then what ends up happening is they are like, yeah, it could do that.
Sure.
And then you go back to your product team and they're like, no, that's not going to be live for 6 months. And you just created a problem where now you have to backpedal. And backpedaling is never good.
No.
Don't do that.
It doesn't set the tone.
Right.
In the way that you want. So yeah. I agree. Tools, education, all of that is so important.
It's so important. I think it makes sense to really think through what your agenda is going to be like and what are all of the supporting maybe teams.
Okay.
Do you need to bring outside people that can help facilitate some of these classes or training? I've been part of SKOs where they wanted to bring in like the challenger sale, for example.
Oh, yeah.
So they brought somebody who was very well versed in the challenger sale. And as homework, we had to read the book. And it was great. I don't really think we ever used it 100% to the letter in the spirit of what that was. But I still use a lot of those tactics even to today. So do you need an expert to come in and do some training? Yeah. What are the other teams in your company that need to present? And give them time to plan their stuff.
Yeah. And I will say this. This is a little bit of a hot take from me. And I think people are surprised when I say this because I was an actor and all that sort of thing. I hate
God,
not
I hate
selling, role playing, any of that.
I hate role playing with all my heart.
It is so dumb. And here's why it is so dumb.
Oh, it's embarrassing and painful. And oh, God, I hate it more than anything in the world.
Never, ever like real life.
No.
Because someone is making up a reaction and then someone's trying to impress someone else who's in the room in a very different way than what you'd be doing.
Oh, yeah.
It almost becomes, to me, it almost becomes showing off that you know your product or something.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Versus, do you know how to ask the right question?
Do you know how to actually discover?
Yes. And you can't discover from someone who's just like, yeah, I'm so-and-so from this company. And
I buy this type of fintech.
It doesn't, I don't know. I would rather spend my time saying like, here are your, here, like you were saying, here are all the tools. Let's learn how to use them. Let's make sure your pipeline is cleaned up.
Yes.
Let's make sure that everyone has the tools they need so that when you sell, this is the other thing. This is my other hot take. Okay. Everyone on your team sells differently.
Yes, of course. They're different people. They have different skill sets.
Why the hell would you not equip them to sell however they're going to sell best?
Yeah, use whatever their flair is.
Yes. I should not be reading from a script.
No.
I don't ever, even when I acted, it was a problem, people.
If you have a script to like have your high level points that you need to hit.
Yes.
But you don't need to give me the minutia word. Also, I'm going to go ahead and say this because I feel like this is such a hot topic. The minute I see role playing on an agenda, I'm like, this is a waste of my time.
I don't love it.
No, sorry. I know a lot of great people that incorporate role playing into their agendas.
I'm so glad you agree with me on this because I never said it out loud.
I have no problem saying it out loud. I was not an actor. I'm not a singer. I'm not good at any of those things. And if you ask me to role play, I already think I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And I have a dude.
I love this so much. My soulmate over here.
I know.
Okay, here's the other thing that I think often happens with SKOs is there's no plan for the future for how you're going to keep checking to make sure that whatever you've spent all this time planning and decided this is how I'm going to set the tone for my year.
It's true.
I honestly rarely feel like people go back and say, remember at our sales kickoff when we did this, this, and this, or even just like checking with your team.
Yeah, like
was it
mid-year checking? A mid-year check-in.
Yeah. Or even
companies that do that. Yeah, you know what I really liked? I worked at a company that we used to do quarterly postmortems.
Oh, I like that.
And it was nice because we did the like start, stop, continue.
Oh, yeah, that is
and
good.
It was nice because we would do them as a team and everyone on the team would present. And sometimes you would hear somebody doing something that you didn't do, but it was really good.
Oh, yeah.
And then they would say like, well, I've been doing XYZ thing and here's how it worked for me. And then other people who felt comfortable doing that tactic would jump in on it.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was like stretched out and the entire team would do it. But I like that a postmortem gives you a chance to say, here's everything I worked on. Here's what I have left to work on for the rest of the year. And here is how I'm like calibrating towards it.
Yeah.
So I think quarterly probably is better than mid-year.
I think so too, because
mid-year.
Yeah, by mid-year, if you are only checking in, then you have a problem.
Yes.
And again, okay, so here's the other thing. I think as we look at the year ahead, you have to think about how you're measuring KPIs.
Yes.
Differently, because I think it was a very amateur hour thing to be like, well, how many touch points did you have?
Oh God.
Like, it's good to know as like a stat, like a statistic.
To know people are doing outreach and doing
It's
things.
good to know how many touch points does it take generally to get to your first call, to get to close, blah, blah, blah. Like, those are good things to know to set expectations.
Right.
If you are using it to micromanage, because it feels very micromanaging to me, you're just going to build resentment, in my opinion.
Yes.
I think there has to be progression through a pipeline.
Yes.
But I also think when you start counting the small like motions, let's just say, like, I don't know, maybe not motions,
tactics,
confusing.
I guess tactics.
Yeah, like the little things that build
Yes.
to something greater. What you're doing, in my opinion, from what I've seen, is you're kind of building a distrust. Like, I don't trust that you've been doing the work.
Yes.
Or like, I feel the need to check in on you,
Mhm.
which what I want from a sales team is feedback.
Right.
I mean, I've had sales teams where like I've come in and it's taken a really long time to get them to trust me. And that's fair. Maybe they came, I've been brought in to help because it hasn't been a healthy environment. So
That's true.
So to me, the best thing I can do as a consultant, as a manager, is block and tackle for you.
Absolutely. Clear objections.
Yes. And like move roadblocks for you. So if you're stuck and you're not telling me it's because I've been stuck, all of my clients are stuck in this one phase in our pipeline or phase of implementation because of this problem.
Yes.
How am I ever going to know that or how are we going to fix it?
Yeah.
You don't get stuck. Don't get stuck and say nothing, but also make sure that you're building the environment so that people can't say, this is where I'm stuck. How can you help me? Because it's not always the salesperson's fault. No, it is not. It can be that maybe multiple financial institutions just really do have the same hiccup, which isn't weird.
No, it's not weird. And also sometimes it has to do with whatever's happening in the market.
True.
And if your sales team is comfortable enough to tell you that, you can identify that for the hurdle that it is and rope in the rest of the team to help you solve it. Maybe it's messaging. Maybe it's one product feature that needs to be added to address something that's happening in the market.
Yeah.
And your salespeople are the ones who are uncovering it. Just because they're not making 50 calls a day doesn't mean they're not working.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it just means that they're hitting a roadblock and they should be comfortable enough to tell you about it.
I've found, honestly, like I had a sales team where there was one major roadblock and it was really about a connection to the thing we needed. Like it was an API connection or, so we'll just call it that. And they were just sitting there saying like, we can't get at the client because we don't have this connection point into their data. And I looked at them and I was like, who all has told you this? And it was, 20 people that they talked to. And I was like, this is the first time we're saying anything.
Right. This is a real problem.
But guess what? I go, great, leave it with me. I went and fixed it. I talked to product and tech and I said, we need this.
Just fix this immediately.
They got it done.
Right.
And then we went from literally, I'm not kidding you. We went from like, and again, this is different. This isn't financial institutions. This was a payments product. We went from 35 clients where we've been stuck for like a year to 200.
That is a huge difference of something that if your sales team not comfortable telling you as a consultant, as a leader, you would never find out. At the end of the day, they are your front line and the voice of your customer. So give them an environment where they feel empowered and you're not just managing how many emails they sent, how many calls they made. Obviously, you can tell when someone is not doing the work because their pipeline is stuck in a way that has nothing to do with an action. It's everything. Nothing gets done. You can tell.
You can tell. So, okay. So
come back
to this. I think it's setting the tone for saying that you are going to be blocking and tackling for your team and making sure that you are setting up a cadence that your individual sellers feel really comfortable with. I know people who are like, look, I don't want to meet every 2 weeks. It's going to make me just feel like I'm being watched. Can we do it once a month?
Right.
Okay, great. As long as someone's using their pipeline and you can check in remotely or whatever, and then they know to come to you, but just trust your team that they know how often they want to communicate with you and set up a different cadence.
Yes.
If you need to tighten up, you tighten up. That's your prerogative as a manager, right?
Yeah. Or if there's something that happens in the market that's really going to impact your product, you guys might all need to be all hands on deck for a while just to address that.
Agreed. Yeah. So I think use your SKO to set the tone for trust and communication. So important. And that communication is, like we just said, it's the conversations, it's your CRM, and it's making sure that there's a comfortability and a
Mhm.
trust there. Okay, so
Yes.
there's those things. But then it's to your earlier point where it's like it's the marketing materials, it's the sales sheets,
Yes, the
it's
battle
the
part are big.
education that you need. Like this is the most useful way to use an SKO.
That's right.
And then you know what you do? You take everyone out for like some dinner or some drinks, like
Blow off some steam.
blow off some steam. You've been like
Get
in the
ready.
weeds all day and make
Yeah.
sure everyone, I mean, the amount of times I've been on a team where people don't sell together when really
Oh,
some of the best sales. Oh my gosh, I used to have a sales partner.
team selling.
Team selling is, well, I think it's fun.
I think it's fun too, but we're like team people.
We are.
That's just the way it is.
But like, I am not everyone's cup of tea.
Me either.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't know why, to be fair, but it's true.
I can see a lot of energy. So I had a sales partner and we would walk into a room and every time we could look at each other, I'd be like, this is you. And he's like, I know. And like, or he'd be like, oh, they hate me. It's you. You know, like we would just
You have that
we would have that
internal rapport like that's instant.
it's so much more fun.
Mhm.
And honestly, it's much more relaxed when you have a resource sometimes
Yeah.
to like lean on.
Bounce stuff off of.
Yeah. So don't be afraid of team selling.
No.
I think this is the other thing that I like to see at SKOs that are very clear and do not change. You set the tone for this is commission.
Oh,
This is when it gets paid.
Oh,
And you don't mess with that.
no. Oh my God. No. And I'm not gonna talk about any specifics here. I have been part of teams, multiple teams, not
Oh, yeah.
just one.
This happens.
Well, we didn't get our comp plan until April. Are you kidding me right now? That is an entire quarter where I'm flying blind, or they'll actually change your territory on you mid-year.
No.
Don't do that because it takes such a long time to build the rapport, to build your opportunities, to actually craft your forecast to say, I've layered asset size, product mix,
Yes.
pipeline, all of it is like a constructed little plan. And then you come in and you shift who I'm selling to. It derails the entire thing. And not only that, it does it across your entire sales force.
Yes.
Then nobody can make their number. And also salespeople, for better, worse, or indifferent, nobody goes into sales because it's glamorous. They go into it because you make money and you like unstructured work.
Yes.
Right? You bog down your team with all this minutia stuff that they have to do, and you don't pay them or you make it unclear how they're going to make money, they're not going to be motivated.
No. I see this in startups where they're like annoyed that maybe someone isn't motivated in the same way that like someone who's building the product is. Right.
It's a different skill
It
set.
is a different person entirely.
Yes.
You know? So everyone, again, I come from an incentives background as well. So let people be motivated how they are motivated and lean into it. It will save everyone time, effort, money, headache.
Yes.
It'll earn you more money. Sales, just own who they are.
Yes.
Let it be.
Let it be the way it is.
And guess what? You want to kill a team's motivation faster than anything, you mess with their comp plan.
Comp plan.
And I understand things change, especially if you're a startup. But you know what you do? You treat them like adults.
Now you sit them down and tell them what's happening.
Yes. Don't leave people in the dark on these things.
Right.
You've hired adults to do a job. And these are people who generally, like you said, meet something unstructured and they operate independently.
Right.
Give them the information and don't just like, we're changing it and you just have to eat this. Like, that's not fair.
No.
It's just not fair. It is not what salespeople sign up for.
No. And actually, I always laugh at this one comment that I've known every salesperson I've ever known has at some point said a variation of this, which is nobody goes into sales to make base.
No.
Because the reality is when you're in sales, you work 24/7. There is no, if your biggest deal calls you on Sunday afternoon because they have a problem, you're going to take that call.
Even after it's closed.
Yes, because that's what salespeople do. And so if I have to be expected to work 24 hours a day, if you're going to call me at 10 o'clock at night and ask me a question, I'm going to be there. Don't nickel and dime me.
No.
And we don't go into it to make base. If we wanted to go into it to make base, we'd go and do a 9 to 5.
Exactly.
It's just the way it is.
I know. So those would be our big things. Like if you're setting up a sales kickoff, I mean, come with those things and stick to your guns. Like stick to it.
And have it ready.
Have it ready. Be
Walk
prepared.
through it and
Mhm.
answer questions. Especially
Yes.
if your comp plan is so difficult that you need to be a CFO to understand it. Bring your CFO and have them explain it.
They better be able to answer all the questions. Mhm.
We haven't been through this at all.
I know.
It's like PTSD on this side of the table.
It's Festivus. You know, we just wrapped the holiday season. We didn't celebrate Festivus, so this is our airing of grievances, I guess.
Oh my God. Oh, so true.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. So let's talk about the pre-work.
Yes.
What should your sales team, not the people running
Mhm.
SKO, what should your sales team know when they walk in? What should just be something that like we all agree hard and fast, you know this?
Well, the agenda for one.
Mm-hmm.
What is going to happen to them for the next 2 days, 3 days that
Whatever it
they're
is.
away from business, away from family, whatever it is. They're away. They're spending time with you. What are they going to do? What's the agenda? How are they going to manage their day?
Yep.
Also, as part of the agenda, leaving time for people to get a little bit of work done, because selling doesn't stop just because you have an internal meeting.
Yeah.
So I think it's the agenda, and inside the agenda, have it clear for them to know I'm going to have an hour a day to check emails or to do something.
Yeah.
So that they can set the tone for their clients. Prospects.
Absolutely. And you know what? I always feel most inspired during a sales kickoff.
Yeah.
Because you're in it, you're in the weeds. So it's a great time to have them contacting your clients anyway.
Right.
Or prospects. Yeah.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
build in time for it and make sure they know, and they don't feel like they need to like, oh, I need to duck out of this session.
Yeah.
Because you know what session I'd be ducking out of? Role playing. I'd be like, oh, sorry, look,
Sorry, I'm gonna go do it in real life.
real clients here. Gotta go. Bye.
Okay. I think if you are at least established enough
Mm-hmm.
ahead of time, one thing I like to do is actually have everybody come with like describe our ICP. Have it ready.
Yes.
And it doesn't need to be something that like everyone's checked with each other on. I want everyone to come in with that written,
Yes.
thought about ahead of time. And then I almost want them to take that and say like, okay, let's look at my pipeline based on this.
On that.
Yeah. So it just sets the tone to really get down to brass tacks and like do the work.
Yeah.
You know, like that to me is a helpful thing.
Along with ICP, it's also like I like to see a list of things where there were big roadblocks or big
Oh
challenges
yeah, love that. Yes.
across all of your sellers. If you have more than one, sometimes people just have one, but
Yeah.
it's understanding like what did they run into the year before, and then if you have product in there, those people can hear the exact same message coming from the source, and have that be thought out ahead of time,
Yes.
because you'll forget things.
You do. Yes. I think that's a really good point. Because now is the time to ask, right?
Right.
Let's start the year off fresh. And again, if you're a salesperson, you've been sitting there frustrated, use the time.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
It's your time.
I think the other part I always liked, it's sessions that I really liked, was like the how are you going to get there, and thinking about, but you have, as a salesperson, you have to think about this before you get there. How are you going to get to your number? Provided obviously the comp plan is set and you know what your number is.
Mhm.
How are you going to get to it based on what you have?
Yeah.
How are you what are you going to need to get the additional pipeline that you need, and who's going to help you get it? Is it you? Is it conferences? Is it marketing? Is it product? Like,
Yeah.
who's going to help you to win, like that team kind of approach again? But it's thinking through that before you get on site.
Yeah. So don't forget that your team has to do some pre-work.
Yes.
And have them like have it prepared, written out.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you could literally, to make sure it happens, again, these are things that sometimes people are writing on the plane. It's fine.
Right.
You know, everyone has their own process. I've definitely been guilty of that.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Because you got other things.
Yeah.
But make sure they have it written out so that you can like kick it off. and get going. And then it also shows you where are the discrepancies.
Yes.
What are we missing? What have we not educated? And I take that as a sales manager as my problem, not their problem. It means if they don't know their ICP, guess what? We haven't educated them.
Exactly. They don't know who they're targeting. That's not a them problem.
Yeah.
As my teenager likes to say, that's not an ish you, that's an ish me. Or vice versa, depending on what is convenient to him.
Yes. Well, why not?
That's why I like that saying. You could tailor everyone.
That's hilarious. I think coming at it with honesty is obviously a theme that we have going through this. But, having people do the work ahead of time, having them come with, here's who our ICP is, could also show you what maybe you've been missing.
Right.
It's not I'm not saying persona work. I actually don't need them to get, I think that's actually a better group project.
It's a group.
But I want everyone knowing these are the institutions we're going after and why ahead of time. And
especially if it's changed.
If it's changed, and it might be changed.
It might be changed. It most likely will and should be.
Yeah.
If you started out originally selling to a specific partner channel or core online banking provider that you're targeting, and now you've added a new one.
Yeah.
You want to have the education that goes along with it, and you want to make sure that they understand that.
Yes.
And why it's shifting. So,
and then it helps us, I think, like it helps leadership come in and say, all right, we know our ICP. Then leadership can come in and say, let's look at pipeline with like a realistic view.
Yes.
What can we throw in here? How are we dividing this up? What is yours? Angie, what does yours look like? Holly, what is your pipeline
right
like?
Exactly.
Is there overlap? Is there it helps you start from a very clean place.
Yes. There's nothing better than going into the new year fresh with a clean pipeline. Because if you have a bunch of stuff that's been sitting out there 6, 7, 8, God forbid, sometimes I've seen 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
Nothing should be in your pipeline that long without movement. And if you're not cleaning that stuff out ahead of the new year, it's like garbage in, garbage out. That expression is so real.
It is.
Because you could have a $3 million pipeline of junk that's been in there for 3 years and doesn't move. That does not a quota make.
No. You were saying this the other day. And I think this is very true. Well, there's that. But you were talking about the difference between pipeline and revenue.
Oh, God.
And sometimes I think people hear like, oh, we have 3 million in the pipeline. And they hear that as cool. $3 million.
$3 million is coming. No. And also there is pipeline and there's weighted pipeline. And I hope by now people know this, but maybe this is a good time to like spell that out.
Yeah.
It's pipeline in general is how much is in there. Weighted pipeline is how much has already been qualified, moving through your sales process and cycle to understand the likelihood that it will materialize into revenue and the percentages associated with that.
Yeah.
So you could have $3 million in pipeline, but today you have $20,000 in weighted pipeline. How is that going to get you your $1 million quota?
Yeah. So
that is a difference.
I like this. And I think everyone has to know the pipeline math.
Yes.
Like I want salespeople to understand really intimately when one moves to a 50% likeliness.
Right.
And like moves through that and why.
Right.
If you can help them understand why, you'll have a much more honest view of your pipeline.
Absolutely.
And I always like to,
absolutely.
I think the other piece is really understanding, okay, they might be 50% likelihood, but what is the time to revenue from there then?
Right.
So if you can start to figure those things out or like tell your team, we want to know this so that we can give you guys accurate expectations,
right,
et cetera. That's really helpful.
That's helpful.
Those are helpful things that you as a manager, as an organization can do to help your sales team feel confident.
Feel confident that they're going to hit that number, especially if that number grows largely year over year. Largely is not a word. Maybe it is. I don't know. But if it grows at a rate that is exponential year over year, it feels like pressure if it's not identified. The channel of motion, how are we going to get to it?
Yeah.
What other, like, if you're releasing a brand new cool service or product, that could be a really good way to say, because of this, we feel like this number is substantiated, and here's how you're going to hit it. But it all comes down to the exact same thing. It's planning the right level of education, giving them the tools that they need to be able to succeed and support that growth, and then a clear path of how they're going to get there.
Yeah.
And clear roadblocks. That's what sales leaders do.
And that is what everyone should walk away with, a real understanding of. You've had a successful sales kickoff if those 4 things are clear. And I would feel taken care of as a salesperson.
Yes.
So confident as a sales manager.
Yes.
And it's a good place to springboard from.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think the best way to break that down is, I always say this about content, and I say this about sales processes. There should be something you can do, tomorrow, maybe the next 30 days.
It's a super actionable thing.
There should be something you can do in the next 30. And then I think for sales, it's like doing it in the next 30, the next 60, the next 90, and setting those expectations. So if you're feeling behind, you can start to pinpoint why and pinpoint it early,
Yeah.
And again, there are just some things that can't be helped, like a sales cycle.
Right.
Some people, I know some people who just kill it with pressure.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I know those salespeople that are like, I got
10 seconds.
Boom, we're going to wrap this up. I mean, I know people who are like, they get it in under the wire, and I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
As a sales leader, it doesn't matter as long as it gets closed. Obviously, the idea of like constantly being behind
It's not good.
It's stressful, but some people work like that.
Dude, some people need that pressure in a way that is, they find it like motivating.
Yes. I feel like
it gives me anxiety, but you know what? I give someone a quarter or two and I'm like, show me your process, show me how you work. Yeah. And then if I'm like, dude, we just can't.
We can't do this anymore because I'm
hired the wrong sales
having anxiety. But but no, I think that's a very clear thing. And then the other thing, I think this is something to point out to all of the sales managers and leaders in the room, is a lot of times it's that focusing on like, we're getting ready to quarter close. Just give them this discount and they're going to go ahead and make a decision. From a sales perspective, you feel like you're selling like an ambulance chaser when you're doing that. It just feels uncomfortable and dirty and weird. And as a customer, when I was this customer, it felt like you were desperate. Why are you willing to give me a 50% discount? That means you were ripping me off by 50%.
I know. If you are going to give something away for free, start it at the beginning of your process. Say like, hey, we have an implementation fee. If we can sign this thing in the next 30 to 60 or whatever you want to say it is, we'll waive it.
Exactly. That is a way better approach than waiting until the last minute and saying, give them this huge discount, or, obviously we, as early stage salespeople, we've all had like, we're going to give somebody a sweetheart deal because it makes sense to have this, but you can have that conversation at a leadership level where it doesn't feel like you're just nickel and diming somebody, or like you're giving them something for free that was super expensive 2 seconds ago. It just feels desperate and like you were being taken advantage of in the first place.
Yeah.
And so I think it's setting the right expectation. If you want to give somebody a sweetheart deal, talk to them about it. And like, what else is there that's out there? And then if you're going to give a discount, position it the way it is, which is, we want to give you a discount. Here's why. And this is what we need back. We need to close in the next 30 days or whatever it is, or we need XYZ thing out of it.
Yeah.
But that full blown, like sleazy, like, we get, whatever percentage off. It just feels awkward.
Yeah. That's not a tool.
No.
Don't give that tool to
That's desperation.
Or if you're going to if you're going to say like, you know what? No, it can be a tool if when you're doing your sales kickoff, you say, here are the levers you can pull
Yes.
to help move a deal through the pipeline. Do not introduce them at the last second. Make sure that you're introducing them where it doesn't feel desperate.
Yes.
So let them know what they can do and give them the freedom to use them.
Yeah.
If it is an implementation fee, if it is, we can take X% off. Or if it's like, hey, if you guys will do a white paper with us,
you get
X.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think there's a lot of things you can do like that. Work with your team and ask them, what are you hearing? What do you think people would be interested in? What would you like us to just kind of pre-approve and let you run with?
Yes. Some of the best teams I've been on, I had a price book. And part of the price book was like, this is the threshold of discount that you can give. Anything above and beyond that has to be approved by somebody else.
Yeah.
Because it eats into our margin or whatever it is. And as a salesperson, if somebody was talking to me about pricing, I could feel empowered to say, I can give you a 10% discount. That's not a problem. And let's see if we can get it done that way. And if for whatever reason that doesn't work, then that's a greater conversation. But I'm in the know, like what levers I can pull.
Can I also say, as a buyer, it gives me much more confidence that I am speaking to the right person at an org.
That's
right. They can make these decisions.
Yes.
So it gives me confidence to say like, okay, I'll move forward.
Right.
Because I don't want to be buying from someone who has zero power, zero say. Maybe, again, like we've said in the past, like they're selling something that isn't theirs to sell, or it's a feature that doesn't exist.
Right.
So these are really great tools. And some people feel scared that their team is going to always discount or whatever. Well, no, because
we're salespeople.
Right. And it's clear and it's set and we want to make money.
Yes.
These are levers we will pull if we have to.
Yes. You never lead with a discount. Why would you do that?
No.
That undervalues your product.
Exactly. So all that is to say, these are the things that we think people should leave with.
Yes.
We, as we're looking at 2026, and Angie and I have actually been leading some workshops on like go-to-market strategy and some of these things.
It's been really fun.
It's been really fun. So we are, you guys will actually see some of this soon. We're really pumped because for your sales kickoff, we're going to have some materials that you could use.
Exactly.
So if you struggle with like, how do I help everyone define our ICP? We'll have that for you.
We'll have that.
How do I help my team understand the pipeline and what each phase means and how to weight it? We'll have that for you. So there's going to be anything we talk about here, we better be able to back up, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Otherwise, we're just pulling stuff out of the air.
And isn't theory fun? No, this all comes from practice. But yeah, always comment. Let us know what's worked for you. I think this is a community. We want you to share your best tactics, your best experiences. Even your worst experiences are always helpful to learn from.
Always fun to learn from what's not gone right.
And the stories.
The cringe.
Share the cringe. That would be really fun. Oh my goodness.
Or if you're doing something that's really cool that you do year over year with your team, tell us about it.
Tell us about it. I love that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Happy sales kickoff.
SKO. Woo, whoop. You're probably like in Florida somewhere. Do an SK off at we used to always go to this Swan and something hotel. I don't know.
Amazing.
Dolphin and Swan. It was like 1982 threw up in there. It was all teal and peach.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? It's in Orlando.
I can picture it though. I want that campy little experience you had.
Sales kickoff. So fun.
Enjoy the Dolphin and Swan.
The people who've been there will know. Leave comments.
All right, gang. We'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.